Welcome one, welcome all to Pit Road Productions. A brand new season of the Almeida Racing League is upon us. For the last 2 seasons running, we've ran the Spec Racer Fords, but now we're turning to one of the other lower class cars in iRacing, one that everyone should be familiar with. We are racing the Global Mazda MX-5 Cup this season, and we're looking for an absolute gong show of a broadcast here today to kick off the new season at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Roval layout. Yes, Zippy, I stole that one from you, from right under your nose. It's Daniel Zippy Salmon alongside me in the commentary box, Reese Gardner, and Zippy's also producing behind the scenes here on Pit Road Productions. Zippy, I am very happy to have Almeida back. We are going to be seeing if we can get some championship defenses going on. Who's going to rise to the top this season?
I'm definitely glad to be back as well, Reese. Indeed, I've been looking forward to this season, not just because it's nice having the ARA every Saturday, indeed, but certainly it's part of the community as well. We've already got Jake Hens there in the chat. Sadly, Kyra can't be with us today. And indeed, we've done some upgrades here at Pit Road Productions. You can see here myself and Reese even clearer. Ladies and gentlemen, what I can tell you is that while the makeup department may be non-existent here at Pit Road, we can use filters if need be, which was quite a shock to me as well, certainly to Reese as well. But I gotta say, Reese, it's great to be back here, and I was actually hanging out at the pit party last night with these guys, and this is a challenging circuit. It's not the usual Roval that I'm expecting, so certainly we can see a few drivers here having a little bit of an adjustment getting used to the layout.
Yes, this is the layout of the Charlotte Motor Speedway Roval that NASCAR ran starting last year. It's had a couple of alterations made to it, largely in the run back onto the oval from the infield. There's a very tight hairpin that brings you out onto the oval on this layout. But the Mazda MX-5s can handle it very well, as I'm sure they're able to handle all of the other circuits that we've got coming up on the schedule this season.
Indeed, we're going to start off here with Charlotte Motor Speedway before heading over to Summit Point now. Getting off another league that we broadcast, I have a feeling that is going to be an absolute belter. Suzuka for round 3, it's going to be an endurance round, before heading over to Okayama for round 4.
Yes, Virginia International Raceway will play host to round number 5. We're going to Willow Springs for round 6. That'll be a fun one for sure. Alton Park, one of your favorites, Zippy, plays host to round 7, and round 8 I completely missed because the slide switched.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back. Take it back there. Too far.
Okayama? No. Round 4.
I'll slow it down for you next week, Grace.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So just to refresh your memories, Charlotte, Summit Point, Suzuka, and Okayama to play host to the first 4 rounds of this season. But yeah, honestly, it's a solid schedule, and I really appreciate the effort that the Almeida Academy administrators put into all of this as we wait for that old slide to change so I can see what round 8 actually is. It's Navarra! Oh, that's going to be an interesting one for sure, Zippy.
It definitely is. Indeed, we're trying to slow it down a little bit here for the schedule. Indeed, that didn't quite work. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, in round 1. Before we head over to round 9, Road Atlanta, come on, favourite track here for this commentator. Round 10 is going to take us to Suzuka with the final round taking us full Le Mans. But let's take a look here at the race format for today.
Just quickly, Le Mans is going to be quite the interesting round. Super long straights, lots of slipstream potential in these MX-5s, but we have kept more or less the same race format from last season. Why fix what isn't broken? 60 minutes of practice is done. The drivers are in qualifying at the moment. 2 15-minute heat races to start off the night. The second race will have a randomized invert, and then a 20-minute feature race with the grid set by Heat 2. No fast repairs and a fixed setup, and it looks like the invert is going to be 8 for this round. So the top 8 from the results of race 1 will be inverted, and whoever finishes 8th in race 1 will thus be the pole sitter in race 2. So we get our view on this very short start-finish stretch briefly, and that super tight hairpin I was talking about. The infield here at Charlotte Motor Speedway has a lot of nice flowing corners, but it's very difficult to get your line right through a lot of them. This being a NASCAR road course, it also has some pretty liberal track limits. As you can see, those blue and white lines there, it seems they are just for show in the infield. However, it's worth pointing out that you can't go below that double white line with a blue line in the center on the oval. Through the banked turns, you have to stay above it.
Indeed, and taking a look here at the roster of drivers we got the biggest splits we've ever had, ladies and gentlemen, seeing upwards of 40 cars potentially, even 50 cars going to be here racing in each split, ladies and gentlemen. But let's take a quick look through and see some of the familiar names. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back. It's Leon Bentvelzen, our favourite Dutch driver, has indeed made a return. Great to see him here, albeit surprisingly, he's in the club class, ladies and gentlemen. I expect to see him in Premier, if anything. Taking a big look through as well. Bas van der Lee, he makes a return as well. And not only that, we have a personal best attendance here for the driver cams as well. Bas van der Lee here making an appearance as well.
Yes, I suppose if Leon Bentvelzen is our favourite Dutchman, Bas van der Lee is a very close second. It's been great to see him racing in the Spec Racer Ford last season. He put on some fantastic drives, and it'll be interesting to see how the MX-5 treats him. Altogether quite a different car from the Spec Racer Ford. Look who else is back. It's Sammy Hendricks, who we can always count on for some wild passes.
Oh, absolutely. The man, I've given him this reputation from the moment we saw him here on the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, he will bump draft anything in a Miata. I'm absolutely looking forward to some of the shenanigans this driver's going to get up to. But we also have another driver we've not seen here before on Pit Road Productions, but he's a big association here. He's the CIO of Almeida Racing League. Indeed, he is Mr. Kyle Diaz-Castro. And fair to say, he's got some pace on him, ladies and gentlemen. He's up in P3 for the club class right now.
Yeah, doing quite well in the gold livery machine, which is usually reserved for staff members of the Academy. And you can see that Kyle's definitely got a big old wheel strapped to his rig as well. I can't quite tell from this angle whether those are sunglasses or a VR headset. I think it might be a VR headset, but regardless. Oh yeah, it is a VR headset. Wow, very nice. I'm continually amazed by how small VR headsets are getting. You can barely even tell. Like, I'm still used to the super bulky first generation VR headsets, but regardless, we'll see what Kyle Diaz-Castro can do there from P10 overall in qualifying at the moment. Tuomas Nieminen also rejoining us from Finland. He's put in some great drives over the last couple of seasons, and it seems that he's carried that pace over to the MX-5s as well. We see Kevin Lau back in the fold as well, but apart from that, plenty of new names as well, Zippy. Names that I think we may have a bit of trouble pronouncing as well.
Yeah, I'm certainly looking to you for that one. Indeed, Brian Sabowski, actually had fun with him at the pit party yesterday. Finally, he was of a similar pace as long as he was behind me. Once he got ahead, he pretty much checked out. He's going to be running in the club class this season, but this is a man as well. Rich Mises, he's making a return. The cool camel as well. This one we are going to put on full screen, and you are indeed going to see why. Certainly put on last season. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see here, he can clearly see the road.
Yeah, certainly can. That VR headset is not blocking his view at all. He has got a clear view, and you know what? Best thing of all, it seems he has lost the ability to blink, so he will see every single turn and point, every single apex, every single exit wall as well, of which there are many around this circuit. It has a bit of a street circuit feel in some places with how close the walls are.
It certainly does. This is a driver I'm definitely glad to see back. We missed you in the last round. Rupesh Binani making a return. Indeed, he's in Premier class and definitely not surprised there. He's potent, ladies and gentlemen. Had some absolutely phenomenal battles there with Cairo Enns, who's not going to be here this week, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to miss this week and indeed another round later on in the season. But I can say I've seen a picture of the paint he's going to be running. It's absolutely phenomenal. Let's take a look here and a couple more drivers. We've got Brian Lenz here. He's making an appearance and indeed joining us on the driver cams today.
Yes, he has. Very nice to see Brian back once more. Great to see so many drivers from last season returning. The MX-5 is a very popular class, and it's certainly something that we're going to be seeing a lot of over the course of this season. I've certainly had plenty of experience with MX-5s. There's another league I commentate with, another broadcaster that runs MX-5s, and I believe Brian Jabelski was a regular in that series. So potentially look out for him as being one of the guys who's going to be well on top. Kevin Adrian is right here as well, and he was very strong in the Spec Racer Ford. Looks like P22 in qualifying for the moment, so he's probably looking for some more improvements here, but we know as well as anyone how what Kevin Adrian is capable of.
Yeah, I definitely want to see a rain race for this season, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, if there is, my money is 100% on this guy. Despite that, he's not wearing a shirt today. Fair play to him. If you got it, flaunt it, ladies and gentlemen. But indeed, Kevin Adrian there, make sure he keeps cool during this race.
Absolutely. It is transferring into winter here in Australia, which means up in the Northern Hemisphere, you guys are starting to see spring going into summer. Kevin Adrian demonstrating the big sausage curbs around this circuit. Those blue sausage curbs are going to be a point of contention here. Very nice to see the smooth line through turn 1 as Kevin Adrian's going to take us along a guided lap here. Banked through turn 2, can carry a lot of speed through there. Turn 3, faster than it looks, and don't forget you can use all of that concrete between the corners if you so desire, but Kevin Adrian keeping a slightly tighter line to straighten out the exit. The edge of the tarmac is the edge of the racetrack in this section, so he carries a lot of speed coming over the hill and into this really fast sweeper, but you got to keep it tight to the right to open up the entry to this super tight hairpin, which is the slowest corner on the circuit, winding on the steering lock and making sure you nail the throttle for the run back onto the oval.
Indeed, definitely a challenging circuit as well myself. I actually found during the pit party, that was actually a good place to make a pass. It did compromise your exit speed, but if you really wanted to force a move, you could do it. This corner, however, I can't say I'd be looking to make a pass here. You'd have to be, well, you'd have to have more talent than I would. Look at the curb usage there from Kevin Adrian. However, biggest thing here, you want to make sure you get the most speed on exit, as it's going to follow you the entire way down that straight and indeed over into the start finish.
Yeah, running a bit high there in oval 3 and 4, and it looks like he was letting another driver go there. You'd want to stick tight on a hot lap. This final chicane is incredibly difficult to get right. It's twisty and slow, and the start-finish line is right there. So basically, once you're done with getting out of the final corner, you are across the line and starting another lap. No time to rest around here.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to have a drink, I don't know when it's going to be the best time to do it. Certainly, Road Atlanta, probably one of the reasons I'm such a fan of that track. But I can tell you, our Almeida Academy coach today is going to be Connor Bell. He's there, and he's indeed on the driver cams as well. We'll keep an eye out for him a little bit later here. But let's take a look at some of the new drivers. We've already got a cheer for this gentleman here, Octavio Suarez, ladies and gentlemen. He's currently in P3 overall, and indeed third in the Premier class.
I believe it might be Suarez, potentially. We'll have to confirm that with Octavio, but we'll see him for the moment sitting in P3 and doing quite well behind Elliot Brocard and Bas Vanderlee. Tell you what, Bas is really strong in this car. Like he was you know, top 10 at least in the Spec Racer Ford, but the MX-5 seems to suit Bas even better. We'll see what Octavio can do meanwhile to find his way across the line. Got to be careful not to hit the wall on the exit there. It's very easy to do. That lap is a 1 minute 40.48, and it looks like that might have been either an outlap or a mistake. And demonstrating as well that it's quite easy to lose the rear into turn 1.
Well, I gotta say, here's an interesting paint, ladies and gentlemen. I can't quite work out. It's almost like it's almost like a camo, like a snakeskin kind of paint. But Anthony Lanassa, that's a name we've definitely seen before there, as he brings it to a stop. Indeed, we've got a couple of cars here in the pits, but I gotta say, I've seen a lot of Pit Road Productions logos on the back of these paints, and I better say, I'm pretty happy about that. Thank you very much, guys.
Very happy to see indeed. Of course, Almeida Racing League has been with Pit Road Productions for how many seasons now? About 5-6 seasons.
It's been a while.
Really been, yeah, it's been incredible to see the development that the drivers have undergone in this league, and we're about to start a brand new season of that now as we go through the grid. Elliot Brocard is going to start on pole position with Bas Vanderlee alongside him. The French and the Dutch have taken point, apparently. The Canadian Octavio Suarez is going to start alongside Rupesh Pineni, who was a very competitive driver last season. Anthony Lanassa starts in 5th place alongside Christian Kermitz from Estonia. Sammy Hendricks and Leon Bentvelzen on your 4th row. Bentvelzen taking pole in the club class with Ellis Vijk there, getting 9th place alongside Jakob Chipley, who rounds out our top 10.
As we have a look here at P11, it's going to be Adam Meeker, a returning driver, as is this gentleman, Tulka Valcaseo. He takes 12. Brent Russell is going to be in 13th, with Kevin Lau in 14th. Kyle Diaz Castro, the man himself, ladies and gentlemen, representing Puerto Rico today. He's there in 15th, with Thomas Niemanen in 16th. Brian Lenz is going to be, whoops, too far. Attaboy. Brian Lenz is going to be there in 17th, with Jeremy Childers returning back again to split one. He's there in 18th. Ivo Serafimov, he's there in 19th, with Kevin Adrian rounding out your top 20.
It's Jeffrey Westland starting in 21st place alongside Brian Zabelski. John Estep is going to start alongside Philip Falcon. Then it's Tyler Harker and Jan Janchik making his return to the championship out of 26th place. Denis Delpierre from Belgium is going to start alongside Rich Meesters, and the top 30 rounded out by Julian Rice and Andrew Engel. Connor Bell is going to start in 33rd place, with Kalin Alexandrescu and Denny French not setting times in qualifying or practice. Potentially they were in the wrong split, but we'll have to wait and see on that. It's a standing start here in the MX5s, and the green flag flies. We are away for the first round. No rolling starts in this one, and it's a pretty clean start from most of the field, but you're going to see a lot of compression coming into the first turns here. It's a nice start for Elliot Brocard, though. He will lead by about half a second already by the time they're out of turn 2. Otavio Suarez also keeping up nicely, but under pressure already from Rupesh Paneni, who's taken 3rd.
Well, what I can tell you is Kevin Adrian has already made his way up 2 spots, ladies and gentlemen. He's looking trying to make it a 3rd there, as he's got Jeremy Childers right behind as well. Brian Lenz just ahead. These guys have indeed raced together before, but what I can tell you about these mighty Miatas, they are absolutely terrifying on cold tyres. There is definitely a little bit of heat that needs to be put into the rubber here, and indeed these guys are going to have to keep that in mind on this first race lap.
Oh, they absolutely will. Let's see what the racing is like in the midfield. Meanwhile, Ivo Serafimov makes a move on Jeremy Childers, and John Estep and Tyler Harker are side by side too. We're on board with Brian Lenz at the moment, who is trying his best to make up more places, racing with Kevin Lau and Kevin Adrian. He's in a bit of a Kevin sandwich right now.
Indeed he is. You can see there Brian Lenz has got the advantage there as he makes his way towards the bus stop, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it's going to be an incredibly tight circuit. Able to get back there in a single file. They need to carry as much exit speed as they possibly can. Look how close he got. Oh, he's too close to the wall. He's hit it, ladies and gentlemen. Now Kevin Adrian right behind. He's going to try and give a little bit of a bump draft to try and get back out to momentum.
A little bit too much speed from the exit there for Brian Lenz. That exit wall at the chicane is going to bite you if you're not careful. These MX-5s do tend to be able to take a beating, though, so it looks like Lenz is going to stay ahead for now. Let's see what Kevin Adrian can do now to keep Ivo Serafimov behind him. Meanwhile, Leon Bentvelzen and Sammy Hendricks trading spots a little further up. The number 6 we're keeping an eye on for the moment. Sammy Hendricks has got Jakob Chipley and Adam Meeker right behind him, starting to lose a bit of touch there with Bentvelzen and Komets ahead. And is that a slowdown there?
Multiple cars picking up slowdowns in that first chicane, as it looks like we got an absolute onslaught. Oh, that took a Valcaseo there. Gets a little bit of help from who I believe is Kyle Diaz Castro there. Definitely not what he had in mind. A little bit of contact indeed. Castro keeps going though, as there's a black flag for Sammy Hendricks. He has not served that slowdown quick enough. He's going to have to tour through the pits.
Yeah, that's not ideal for Sammy Hendricks. Fortunately, the pit entry here cuts off quite a bit of that final sector, so you don't lose too much time driving through the pits around here. So, still not ideal, it only being a 15-minute race. Let's see what Sammy can do. Thomas Niemanen, meanwhile, sitting 13th for the moment, got Kyle Diaz Castro right behind him, as there's a pass just behind there. I believe that might have been Serafimov or something making a move there. Jeffrey Westland is falling down the order. It looks like he's had a problem too.
Yeah, let's take a look here, Reese.
Yeah, his car's heavily damaged, and it was a run-in into the chicane here on the back stretch. Did he lose the rear end? No, he went too deep and then lost the rear end head-on into the barrier.
Yeah, definitely easily done. It's actually finding the Miata and the braking is it's quite a bit of a challenge, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, let's take a look here. Leon Bentvelzen getting a little bit of a pressure here from Christian Komets.
Yes, Christian Komets is doing quite nicely at the moment, keeping himself in 7th place, and was 6th at the line, but he is fighting hard with Leon Bentvelzen. It's on for the lead as well. Elliot Brocard and Otavio Suarez really working themselves out nicely at the front here. Rupesh Pineni apparently apologized for an incident at the hairpin. I'm not entirely sure where that came from. That was back on lap 1, I believe. Regardless, it seems like he's continuing on nicely in this position. The slipstream kicking in very nicely along the oval. Our top 3 are breaking away from everyone behind for the moment, but these guys aren't the fastest ones on track. Leon Bentvelzen currently holds the fastest lap at a 1:34.3. That's 7/10 faster than Brocard could manage.
Indeed, and what I am starting to notice as well is they were starting to pull away a little bit there from Bas van der Lee and the rest of the pack, but not quite. The last couple of corners, that gap's closed down about 7/10 per second. Indeed, Bas van der Lee and Anthony Lanassa, both of these guys, they're seasoned. They know that they need to work together if they want to stay in this lead pack. You see they're a little bit further back though. Leon Bentvelzen trying to hang on to the top 5.
Yeah, Leon's looking quick here. We'll have to wait and see what he can do on this next lap to hitch onto the back. Looks like some pretty big gaps forming in the field as Kevin Lau is in the midst of a very tight fight here. Losing spots there was Jeremy Childers. And it looks like Jabelski's had a problem. A very big problem for Brian Jabelski, falling down the order massively. We will see what happened to him here. Jabelski is very competitive in MX-5s. Looks like did he get some help here? Yes, he did. Slowed up for the slow Jeremy Childers and then got hit from behind coming out of the final corner. That's a shame.
It looks like our very own Connor Bell's got caught in an incident as well. Let's find out what happened. Oh, that's Connor.
Yeah, okay. So Connor Bell was the one who hit Jabelski. That's not ideal. But does happen in a field as competitive as this. Speaking of, how about the lead? Elliot Brocard getting a tiny bump draft there on the exit of Oval 2. And defensive now versus Otavio Suarez. Lots of curb being used. These cars are two-wheeling it through these chicanes, and you notice there on the exit, you can cut that exit there. You can run below the blue and white line before you get onto the banking. And it looks like Otavio is using that nicely to get maybe a few centimeters of extra advantage over Elliot Brocard. Oh, he thought about making the move there, but not quite possible there into the final corner. Clear overtaking opportunities are elsewhere in the lap.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder when Rupesh Pineni is actually going to go for it. Indeed, we know he's quick, we know he's potent, but he's sitting back. He seems to be quite content in third. You know what? I think Rupesh, his race strategy has come on no ends and bounds since joining the academy. When he first joined, don't get me wrong, he had pace, but he's got even faster, and his racecraft has improved so much as a result. This is how he's a championship contender. I'm going to say it straight from the outlay, ladies and gentlemen. This man is somebody to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I agree. Especially in the latter half of last season, he was a constant presence up the front of the field, and it looks like that hasn't changed. But that's a little wide there for Brocard through the hairpin. This could be the chance that Otavio Suarez needs, but he's going to have to wait for a few more moments to get that done. Interestingly, Otavio, though he is racing under the Canadian flag, has a Brazilian flag on his rear bumper. I think that might be a clue as to his nationality, but we will see. As we make our way into the chicane, another defense from our leader, Elliot Brocard, running the fastest time in qualifying, but it's only one lap, really, that defines his starting position for the first race. A lot can change as it's on for fourth. Bentvelzen and Van der Lee, the two Dutchmen trading spots.
Now, this is where you got to try and find yourself some teammates in a series like this. Indeed, there's no team championship this season, but I got a feeling you could do it having some friends here. As you see, coming in a little bit hot there was Bas van der Lee, able to keep control of it though. Indeed, the Dutchman is definitely applying a little bit of power there and trying to stay with this pack. He's currently there, down 5 positions, but in 7th place nonetheless. As we got a change there for second, Rupesh Pineni makes it happen on turn 1.
Oh, that he does. Lovely stuff from Rupesh Pineni. He moves up and it looks like that's Elliot Brocard who's fallen to third. So both Suarez and Pineni have gotten past him. So this is a big change up at the front of the field, and it's brought everyone else in the top 7 battle into the fold as well. Anthony Lanassa leading the charge there as he drags Bentvelzen, Christian Kermetz and Bas van der Lee along with him. That's a big slide from Pineni on the way into the right-hander towards the hairpin.
Oh, bump.
It's a lovely... Oh, yep. it's a lovely line that drivers take through there. Widens out on entry. There's a lot of space for racing, particularly on the first lap, but it can be very hard to get right when you're in the depths of the race session. Looking a bit further back here, this is Philip Falcon trying to get past Julian Rice for 24th. That was a big wiggle, wasn't it?
John has stepped there, getting a little bit loose on corner X end. Looks like Philip Falcon's going to try and go on the inside. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Indeed, he's got back up to momentum, and you got to ask yourself as well, is it worth it trying to get the pass, or are you actually better off just trying to get back up to speed here? It's really Philip Falcon applying all sorts of pressure. John Estep and Philip Falcon both in the same position as where they started. It's not great, but it's not bad. They've not lost anything, as that looks a little bit deep there from Julian Rice ahead, and indeed, John Estep is going to try and capitalise on that as it goes side by side around the back section.
That was a big helping of oversteer for Rice, and it looks like there's been trouble at the front. Elliot Brocard. Oh, that is huge. That's going to be one hell of a replay we're going to look at here, Zippy. Big contact between Brocard and Pineni. Brocard made the move on Pineni, but he lost it over the curb. Rupesh not to blame for that, but Brocard ultimately collecting a couple of other cars on the way there too.
Yeah, definitely a few of them got caught in that. I think that might have been Jacob Seepley who got caught in that. By all means, please let us verify that one here. But that was definitely, I could see it happening, ladies and gentlemen, but it's, yep, indeed, Jacob Seepley, not what he had in mind.
No, definitely not, and a real shame for Jakob. He's he was down in the field, tried his best. Ironically, at the point he crossed the line, when he was sideways with his front end missing, he was classified in 7th. So that would have been an excellent jump up through the field for him. Unfortunately, he has had to tow back to the pits, as has Rupesh Pineni and Elliot Brocard. So we've lost 2 of our front runners from this one, and Otavio Suarez is all alone in the lead right now. Lanasa, Bentvelzen, Kermetz, and Vanderlei are going to have to work together to catch him up with only 4 minutes to go in the first race.
Indeed, it's looking good for some of the old guard here. Anthony Lanassa and ARA Barron, he's doing quite well. He's up in second, up 3 positions. Leon Bentvelzen, again, another name to keep an eye on, ladies and gentlemen. He is indeed potent from the moment we saw him, and indeed, right now, he's managed to find his way up 5 positions in the third. But let's have a look here. This is a name that we're going to be familiar with last season. Indeed, he's the hard charger right now. It's Tyler Harker, ladies and gentlemen, with the Harlequin Miata there. He's currently up there, MP13 overall, but Ivo Serafimo is just ahead by about 1 second flat.
Yeah, and it looks like Harker may have lost a tiny bit more time down the start-finish stretch with that little appointment with the exit wall. Harker battled hard with Cairo Ends for the Club Class Championship last season, and is certainly a pacey man indeed. But Kevin Lau definitely seems to have gelled with the MX-5 very nicely and is catching him up through this infield section. A lot of fast corners where it's very difficult to make a pass. In the NASCAR stock cars that usually race around this layout, almost every corner is a passing opportunity, but the MX-5s have to wait for those clearer braking zones.
Yeah, I definitely found, usually myself, I'm quite the person for racecraft and, you know, trying to make a pass and stuff, but even here, I struggle to get a move done. The Miatas as well, they're so, well, I mean, don't get me wrong, every car we've had here on the ARA, it's been a fixed setup, it's been, you know, a test purely of the driver. That's exactly how it should be, I feel, ladies and gentlemen, but certainly, I found it very, very difficult to get passes done in this Miatas. I need to spend a little bit of seats now on it, and not only that, for the Miatas, they actually have a course just for it coming out this season, ladies and gentlemen. Another reason that you want to be part of this league, indeed, part of the Almeida Racing Academy.
Yeah, indeed, best coaching service in the business, and has been helping drivers get better at racing, both in the sim and real life, for quite a few years now. And just $25 a month, I believe, gives you access to all of the material from Suelio, Almeida, and friends. Move up the inside for Kevin Adrian. He's going to get into 8th, passing Iles Vijk there on his way through the first turn. He's certainly marched his way up through the order, hasn't he? Up from 20th place at the moment for Kevin.
Yeah, he's currently the hard charger, ladies and ladies and gentlemen. He's took the title away from Tyler Harker. Indeed, definitely, I want to see what happens if we get some rain here. My money is always going to be on this guy. I've first-hand experience of racing Kevin in the rain, and I would strongly encourage it. You know what? If we don't get a rain race this season, I'll put one on, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? We'll have a rain race just to prove a point, ladies and gentlemen, just how quick this guy is when it starts to get a little bit damp on the track. But right now, it doesn't matter. It's a dry condition, and Elias Vajic is applying all sorts of pressure from Hungary.
Yeah, certainly is. Let's see what Vike can do as he catches the slipstream of Kevin Adrian down the back straight. Sorry. Really hard to pick your braking point for the chicane. You're braking almost between the 4 and 3 markers that are hung on the fence there. And honestly, I love what they've done with that chicane in recent years. The original design was more of a bus stop, and it was quite hazardous. What's not hazardous for Anthony Lanassa, potentially, is a pass up the inside. He does collect the curb, and, well, as the white flag flies, that's going to be Lanassa getting back past Leon Bentvelzen. And Christian Comets is going to take advantage of that, but Bentvelzen holding strong around the outside of turn 1 and keeps the position into 2.
Yeah, fair play, Christian. Definitely no slouch by any means. 3,602 I rating, ladies and gentlemen. One of the higher I rating drivers in here. Certainly, actually, Elliot Brocard, short of the Academy coaches, he had the highest I rank, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, Christian Coates really coming back out of nowhere there, and Bentvelzen having to really switch on there. As Kevin Adrian has picked up a slowdown flag. This could be bad news for the Canadian. He's got Brent Russell and then Kyle Castro right behind, looking to try and cash in on that. Oh, tipping the wheel.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit. And that's going to open up the opportunity for Kyle here. Around the outside into the hairpin. Can he get it done? Can Brent Rusnell? No, he can't. And now Diaz Castro makes the move up the inside, dispatching Brent Rusnell back to P10. But for how long is the question? Looks like there's some smoke there ahead. Looks like someone's had a problem. But we'll have to wait to find that out, because it is the final lap. And we are almost about to give our winner his dues. Otavio Suarez has had a fantastic first race here, was a constant presence in the top 3, and when his compatriots fell by the wayside, he was there to take advantage and has kept that lead by nearly 2.5 seconds all the way through. The first race win of MX5s in the Almeida Racing League will go to Otavio Suarez here in Split 1. Anthony Lanassa and Leon Bentvelzen rounding out your podium. Fantastic racing.
Indeed it was, and certainly let's give a huge shout out as well. Kevin Adrian up 12 spots. That is definitely not easy work in a split like this. Tyler Harker currently showing us up 12 spots as well, yet he solidifies that as well. Yan Cheek, he's up 11. Rich Meesters up 12. Saying that, he's duking it out there.
Whoa.
Brian Lenz looking to try and get one back.
Oh, almost. Unfortunately, the safer barrier
boink.
on the exit of the final corner put paid to that.
Dear. Oh dear, who's that now?
That's not ideal. That's Vike, I think. Iles Vike. Apparently, a mistimed downshift, potentially, causing his engine to blow, but he was able to roll it to the line, only just. And with that, that's everybody across the line. And, oh dear, it looks like that might have happened into the hairpin there for Iles Vike. So, hopefully he can avoid that kind of issue in races to come. Riding on board with the 164 machine,
we're going to have to skip it.
In fact.
We're going to have to skip it. We're caught up on time. Damn it. I wanted to hear it go bang.
Yeah. Oh, well. We won't hear it go bang, but we will see the results from race 1 and the grid for race 2 very shortly. It was Otavio Suarez who took victory, with Anthony Lanassa in second, Bentvelzen in third. Club class driver on the podium in the first round of the season. Christian Comets and Bas Vanderlee are your top 5, with Adam Mika, Thomas Niemanen, Kevin Adrian, Carl Diaz Castro and Brent Rusnell rounding out your top 10. A good showing for the club drivers. Indeed it is. As we have a look here at P11, that was taken by Ivo Serafimov with Kevin Lau in 12th. Tyler Harker takes 13th with Jeremy Childers in 14th. Yan Cheek in 15th with Rich Meesters in 16th. Barely getting it over from Brian Lenz in 17th. John Estep took 18th with Brian Sabowski in 19th. And Philip Balkan rounding out your top 20. In 21st, we had Julian Rice with 22nd being Elias Vajic.
Interesting.
I
23rd.
apologize. My mic was muted.
Okay, welcome back. 23rd, Sammy Hendricks with Dennis Delpierre in 24th. Rupesh Panani was up on the podium earlier. He took 25th with Elliot Brocard in 26th. Jacob Seepley takes 27th with Andrew Engel in 28th. Sulga Valcaseo in 29th and Connor Bell in 30th.
And Jeffrey Westland, unfortunately, retiring from the race, as did Bell, Valcaseo, Engel. We had most of the drivers involved in the incident making their way back out on track. But now it's time to check out the top 8 for race 2. Kevin Adrian, from starting 20th in race 1 to pole in race 2. That's an incredible run. And Thomas Niemanen is going to start on the front row with him. Adam Mika and Bas van der Lee will be 3rd and 4th, with Christian Kometz and Leon Bentvelzen 5th and 6th. Then it's Anthony Lanassa and Otavio Suarez, the race winner from the previous race, starting out of 8th. From there on back, it is where they finished in race 1. But my goodness, what a start to the season. I was always expecting frenetic racing with the MX-5, Zippy, and that's exactly what we've got.
Oh yeah. Actually, that was. I thought it was going to be more chaotic, in all fairness. But I got to say, the top split drivers really demonstrating just how much skill they've got, and indeed how much racecraft they've got. As it's going to be Kevin and Adrian here on the pole. It sounds like we're getting about ready to go green here, Reese.
Yeah, still 15 seconds left on the grid timer, but good timing at the very least. We got a bit caught by surprise there with the short grid time for race 1. I also thought that they were going to preserve the rolling start from last season, but apparently not. We're going to be seeing who is best at standing starts now that we're in the MX-5. Well, now the revs are going to rise again. Those 2-litre inline 4-cylinders are going to be revving themselves silly here as the smoke blows on the way to the standing start. And Kevin Adrian gets a clean run off the line, as does Niemanen. They're going to fall into line nicely into turn 1, but it's all on for 4th on back behind, side by side between Van der Lee and Kometz. And for the moment, Leon Bentvelzen holding on nicely in the midst of the top 10, seeing some moves further back as well. Drivers that had a poor race 1 trying to make up positions as best they can. As around goes Brent Rusnell. Looks like contact there, and that's happened in front of a few other cars as well. It appears that Rich Meesters and John Estep having trouble with that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's John Estep there who ended up absolutely devouring the wall. Rich Meesters, though, he's still running indeed, as right now you can see there. Incredible. Julian Rice, though, I'm not sure he's supposed to be in this split, so let me try and work that out here in a few minutes.
Oh, move up the inside, though, on Philip Falcon at the hairpin.
Yeah, it's not
very nicely done. No, certainly isn't. He came here to race, and he is certainly racing. Well, we come onto the back straight then. Top 3 still very close together, but it would appear that the top drivers from race 1 have not quite been able to advance forward like they hoped. There's a car around in the background there. That's Rice.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, there you go, ladies and
Rice
gentlemen.
around.
We was wondering if he was supposed to indeed be in this split. Well, he's managed to make a short exit here on the second race, but certainly Kevin and Adrian right now is leading the charge with Thomas Niemanen and Adam Mika there in third. Sunday. These 4 drivers in the top 4 are indeed returning ARA members, and you can see there definitely getting some good racecraft in here at Charlotte.
Yes, one driver that hasn't gotten the opportunity to get more race time in is, in fact, the man who started on pole for race 1, Elliot Brocard. His connection dropped as this race was starting, so unfortunately, he has been unable to take the start. He has reconnected to the server, so hopefully we'll see him again in race 3. But for the moment, these are our protagonists up the front. Kevin Adrian, club class driver, leading the way. Thomas Niemanen and Adam Mika chasing him, but it seems that Van der Lee and Kometz, now that the tyres are more or less up to temperature, are starting to make a charge. There's a move behind. Otavio Suarez is making a move for the first time in this race. He's dispatched Anthony Lanassa.
Well, what I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I just took a quick look here. Julian Rice is supposed to be in split 4. Don't get me wrong, that's not stopped him, ladies and gentlemen. He was tagging with these guys in the top split, so fair play to him here. As let's take a look here, our Academy coach, it's Connor Bell, and he's currently back there, up 9 positions in P21.
Yep, working things out nicely is Mr. Bell, but he's all alone on track at the moment. Iles Vike is a long way ahead, about 3 seconds or so, but he might see some overtaking opportunities present himself there. That's Jakob Shipley, who's had a problem at the chicane and lost a few positions now, running down in 20th. So Connor Bell will be able to catch up to him soon enough. The front pack has compressed, and my God, has it compressed. Kevin Adrian still leads the way. There's been no position changes since we saw the move that Suarez made on Lanasa, but have a look at how close all of these guys are. The top 13 are all covered by the same pack in my timing.
Yeah, indeed they are. Kevin Lau at the back of that pack. He's just about hanging on here to Yan Yan Cheek, who's currently there in P12. He's up three positions at the moment. You see Tyler Harker. I gotta say, while it's not the most inspiring paint, you can definitely pick him out of the crowd.
Oh, that you can. There's no missing Tyler Harker. With I believe he's actually running one of the paint jobs you can download on Trading Paints that actually tell you where all of the car's panels are in the PSD file to edit the livery, so it makes it a bit easier for you to see where your paint is actually going to sit on the car. It's an interesting livery choice, but I'm not going to complain about it. Christian Cometz is going to give a little bump
Whoa,
to
sneak attack!
Out of nowhere, Otavio Suarez making the move for 6th. I had no idea he was even there.
I gotta watch that because that was incredible.
Nice out-braking move coming into the chicane. And Suarez, he's certainly making moves. He picked up the slipstream nicely and managed to pass one car on the way in. Almost was 2, but not quite. But Suarez has already showed that he knows how to win here, and I think he's going to be taking his time with these moves.
Yeah, that was an absolutely fantastic. I mean, it was cheeky, don't get me wrong, but fair play. He made it stick and it was clean. Nicely done, Otavio.
Yeah, very, very nice. And it looks like he's already latched onto the back of Bentvelzen too. Meanwhile, Iles Vike down to P18 now, with Rich Meesters just up ahead. We see that Philip Falcon, Jeremy Childers and Rupesh Paneni aren't too far ahead of these guys either. Rupesh, remember, was a top 3 competitor in the first race, but he hasn't been able to quite make the moves forward in race 2 that he would have hoped. Now he is leading that pack for 14th place.
Indeed, that's definitely not going to be a bad idea, ladies and gentlemen. You got somebody like Rupesh here at the front of the packers. Around they go. That's Ivo Serafimov there, having a little bit of a detour.
Yeah, Serafimov coming out of the hairpin there. Looks like it might have been contact with another car. The MX-5 does not have traction control, but it often doesn't quite have the power to light up the rears on the exit. On board with Brian Zabelski, who has a lot of MX-5 experience under his belt, but apparently in a field like this, he is certainly got a challenge. Look at that there. That's Iles Vike that's gone deep in the chicane, and that's going to be a freebie for Zabelski, as well as Connor Bell and Jakob Shipley.
Did you see? He must have had the right rear wheel of that Miata at least 1.5 feet in the air then.
Yeah. That's what you can expect. The MX-5 handles curbs very nicely. You're going to be seeing a lot of curb hopping this season, I'm sure. Yan Yan Cheek, meanwhile, making some good moves here. He's made his way up into the top 10 and just dispatched Anthony Lanasa, who's fallen back to P10 now. Kevin Lau will be the next driver to try and challenge him. See the trailing of the brakes as they come through this turn. The MX-5 is one of the rookie cars, one of the first road cars anyone drives on iRacing. For that exact reason, it really teaches you those basics in brake control, being able to rotate the car through the corner, and teaching you that momentum is everything.
Indeed, certainly it's so hard to get these things up to speed here that you've got to really make sure you don't go and overcompensate the things. Right now, Leon Bentvelzen now is going to be the next one on the chopping block. The 33 there of Ontario Suarez. Otavio. Pick a word, ladies and gentlemen.
I think the Canadian flag might have been a bit of a Pavlovian response there as he makes the move for 4th. Okay, Otavio Suarez is on a charge now, isn't he?
He absolutely is. Don't get me wrong, he's only up 4 spots, but he's trying to make him at the top of the field. One win was not enough, and Kevin Adrian is holding on to this pack. But you got to wonder, though, Adam Meeker, he's trying to go round him now. Honestly, in this scenario, I think I'll be trying to help him along.
Yeah, I would be too, but the move is made, and Adam Mika gets into P1, and Thomas Niemanen is going to try his best to take advantage of all of this, but he's going to get swamped there. Otavio Suarez gets by. He's going to make the move for second as well, as he's alongside Adam Mika on the way through turn 1, inside line. This battling is allowing Kevin Adrian to drive away.
Yeah, that is exactly what he wants to see. Here's Leon Bentvelzen goes up on the inside. Sneak attack there from the Dutchman. Indeed, we're going to get a good view here of the back of the 184. He got it done on the quarter entry, but on exit speed, he's going to be compromised. He's going to be dependent there on the draft from Adam Mika, but is it going to be enough? Kevin Adrian now, 7/10 of a second clear. Can he keep it going, or indeed is he going to disappear on the back straight as Mika gets into a slide? Bentvelzen goes side by side.
Yeah, it's hard to keep the rear end in check through that right-hander, but there's nowhere to go through the apex of the hairpin, and Bentvelzen's going to lose another position here to Thomas Niemanen as Otavio Suarez finds his way now into P3. Goodness gracious, this has turned into quite the chaotic race, and we've still got 6 minutes left of this.
I gotta say, quite the marketing plug for us as well. Bas van der Lee putting us on the license plate. Thanks, Bas. Indeed, is right now. I gotta say, I love the support we get here from all of these drivers. But indeed, that looked tight. Oh,
like grazing the wall there on the exit.
This is intense. Kevin Adrian, though, 7/10 of a second clear. Adam Mika maybe really evaluating that, as right now Bentvelzen's got the idea. He's giving a little bit of a push here to Thomas Niemanen just ahead.
Yeah, it lifts off coming into the chicane. Very difficult braking zone there. You're coming off the banking and trying to set yourself up for the braking zone. Could there be a move up the inside of turn 1 here? As Bentvelzen gets the position. It looks like Niemanen gave it to all the way in and will be back on the attack on the way out.
Indeed, this man's definitely shown that since he arrived, he's been potent on Otavio Suarez. We got to figure that out. Somebody correct us after the show, by all means. The Canadian driver...
shoot us a message, Otavio.
Yeah. Well, we can't even see the Canadian driver. He's got a Brazilian flag on the back. Like, pick one, buddy. Like, the 33 car has definitely proved to be potent today. Indeed, is right now. He's up 5 positions. He had that invert grid, won the first race, and he's currently looking to make it 2. Kevin Adrian, though, that gap has come down, and right now, he's very much within range here. Adam Mika really feeling the pressure here from the 33 behind.
Certainly has, and as I keep an eye on Otavio's livery, I realize that I've seen it before in another league that I am familiar with. Last season in that league, those drivers from CFPM Racing, a Brazilian-based sim racing team, they have got a lot of, as you say, Zippy, very potent drivers. So he is coming from a very strong stable. This is going to be interesting to see what Otavio can do. Throughout this whole season, slow on the exit of the chicane for Yan Cheek, apparently with a problem through there. Potentially lost it over the curbs, but we'll have to wait for the replay to tell the full story. Into the corner, and the rear end let go. He tried to correct it, and unfortunately, the safer barrier was there to greet him.
Yeah, that is definitely
he's hit the
unfortunate.
pit lane attenuation too.
Oh, that sounded like it hurt.
Yeah, just as you cut away there, Zippy, I saw him hit it, and goodness, that was not ideal for Jan. Apparently not much steering response in that car, so that's rather difficult. Hopefully Jančík has a better run in race number 3, but we'll keep our eyes peeled here on this battle for the top 4. Leon Bentvelzen trying to get a run at Adam Mika now up the inside through a corner that is, if anything, just a lift in these MX-5s, if not flat out. Makes the move for 3rd as the battle for the lead is back on. Defensive on the way in, trying to keep 3rd place. Focus on the exit. That's wide for Kevin Adrian. This could be the chance that Otavio Suarez needs to get into the lead.
Yeah, this is starting to get ugly, and indeed Suarez has managed to put himself ahead by just about a nose, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, Leon Bentvelzen eyeing it up as well. Don't get me wrong, we've got the Premier and the Club Class Championship going on here, and right now, not only is Kevin Adrian fighting for the lead, is there 3 wide? I'm looking forward to this. Who's going to back out? Nobody, ladies and gentlemen. They all go through. Kevin Adrian cuts the curb a little bit. Is he going to get a slowdown? No, he's got away with it, ladies and gentlemen. Really checked up himself, but Leon Bentvelzen comes out of that smelling the roses. Need Otavio Suarez. He got what he wanted. He's moved his way up to P2, but look at the fleet of cars behind him. Adam Mika side by side with Niemanen. Indeed, Christian Kovacs going side by side as well.
This is a crazy battle, but Otavio Suarez played that really well. He backed out of getting involved there. And, you know, half of racing is racing smart, knowing when to be in the battle. And I think Otavio Suarez certainly used his experience to good measure there. He didn't make the move for the lead, but he managed to get himself second, and he survived to fight another corner. Kevin Adrian still holding on to third and still looking super pacey though.
Oh man, there's a reason he's not wearing a shirt, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, this man is sweating. He is giving it everything. Indeed, this is one of his best races we've seen so far. The Miata, not a car that he usually drives. Certainly used to seeing him in a Formula 1600, sometimes a Spec Racer Ford as well. Certainly we just did 2 seasons of Spec Racer Ford in the Almeida Racing Academy, which I say thank you very much indeed. I did love the fact we had that. Not only that, we had it at the PRP 250th show as well. That followed by the Radical SR10. Again, a huge thank you to everybody in the community for coming out for that. But certainly, Kevin Adrian, not a car that I've seen him really using much, but certainly seems to be working well for him so far. Further back, though, Kevin Lau is going to start us up. But we're going to go back to the lead here as Leon Bentvelzen and Otavio Suarez are duking it out for P1.
Oh, and that's a bit wide for Bentvelzen at the second apex of the chicane. Suarez just avoids running into the safer barrier himself on the exit. But the move is made for the lead for the number 33 with 45 seconds remaining in the race. And I think this should be the white flag that they will come up to here. The battle is still on. Bentvelzen needs to pull out every single trick in the book to try and get past Otavio Suarez here as the white flag flies. It's very close behind though. Thomas Nieminen under pressure from Adam Mika and Tyler Harker. Mika getting up the inside of turn 1. More speed for both Harker and Nieminen. Look at that. Tyler Harker's run up the inside was immense, but can he keep the position? They're side by side. My goodness me. MX-5 racing is always intense, and I really should have expected racing like this. This is exactly what the MX-5 brings you every single time, side by side again between Nieminen and Mika. They are not leaving each other alone, and Tyler Harker and Anthony Lanassa will take advantage.
Oh! That's Lanassa!
Oh dear. Big problem there for Anthony Lanassa. Must have been contact, and it was. Trying up the inside there into this fast right-hander, and yeah, the number 88 there of Kevin Lau will likely be deemed at fault for that, but it is the final lap, and it's time to see who's going to take the win here. It's still on between Otavio Suarez and Leon Bentvelzen, but Suarez has gotten a great exit out of the final chicane, and it seems that Bentvelzen may not have much response for him here. As they come to the final corner, the slipstream gets picked up. It's going to have to be a desperate late lunge from Leon Bentvelzen. But Otavio Suarez sees him coming and positions his car well through the final corners. They come, and Otavio Suarez is going to take the second win. Oh, that was close. Kevin Adrian and Christian Comets, only a few tenths between them. Super tight there for 8th. Rupesh Pineni finding his way up into the top 10. Very solid drive from the Indian as Jakob Chepley, despite his problems earlier, still getting 14th. Very nice run from him.
Up 13 spots, attaboy there from Jakob. High charger in that race was indeed Connor Bell, ladies and gentlemen, your academy coach. Rupesh Pineni, if you exclude the coach, he's making it up 17 spots, so absolutely fair play to him. I've got to say, we are absolutely spoiled here today, Reese. Like, I'm lost for words. I knew it was going to be good, but myself, obviously, I love the Spec Racer Ford. I didn't realize it was going to be this good. Wow.
Can I just say, Zippy, welcome to MX-5 racing.
Oh, yes.
I guarantee you're going to be seeing racing like this every single week for this season. It is a fantastic car for broadcasting. Everyone has a chance to make a move. Well, Elliot Brocard, despite missing the start, still managed to make it out on track, and he's going to be the last finisher on the lead lap here. He's just coming up to the final corners now. A shame that he had those issues as well as the problems that he had in race 1. He's certainly a pacey driver, and he needs to get a result deserving of that pace. But we'll have to wait and see for race 3. For now, race 2 results. Octavio Suarez taking 2 from 2 so far, with Leon Bentvelzen and Kevin Adrian really repping the club class nicely, 2nd and 3rd, with Christian Komet getting across the line in 4th, with Thomas Niemanen just behind. Tyler Harker, Adam Mika, Rupesh Panini, Connor Bell, and Bas van der Lee are your top 10.
Indeed, as we have a look there, P11, it's going to be Rich Mises with Philip Falcon in 12th. Kyle Diaz Castro, the man himself, takes 13th with Jakob Siepley in 14th. Jeremy Shoulders is 15th with Brian Sabalski in 16th. Andrew Engel takes 17th with Tuka Bakaseo in 18th, with Jeffrey Westland in 19th, and Anthony Nasser having to settle for 20th.
Sammy Hendricks only made up 2 spots in this race. 21st for him. Ivo Serafimov spinning out of the hairpin has to settle for 22nd from 11th. Dennis Delpierre finishing in 23rd ahead of Kevin Lau, Julian Rice, and Elliot Brocard. Last finisher there. Yan Cheek, unfortunately, having a couple of big crashes at the midpoint of the race, and Iles Andres Weik, meanwhile, has roughly the same issue. Brian Lenz, Brent Russell, John Estep also with big issues in that race. They'll be looking for the slightly longer race too to keep themselves in the running here. But for now, Zippy, well, now that we're in warm-up, I understand you've had a chance to catch up with Kevin Adrian.
Well, Kevin, obviously we're into a new season, a new car. The MX-5, it seems to be working well for you. Tell us a little bit about how you've been having such great success here at Charlotte.
Well, actually, I qualied really bad. I was down in 20th, so my spotter told me I should be fighting for the podium, but it was a race late. I got up to 8th in the first race, and then got into first thanks to the invert, and just trying to hold off those guys. It's a lot easier when you're in front and you don't have anyone battling with you, but towards the end, Octavio, Leon were really pushing me hard, and Adam as well, right in the last corner. We had a good little battle there, so lots of fun. Still working on the car. It's not the easiest car for me yet, but I'm getting there.
Well, it certainly is, you managed to get a podium already, indeed. So certainly fair play to you, indeed. It's looking good for the Club Class Championship as well. Definitely a start to keep in mind. But we're going into the 20-minute feature next. Certainly, this could be a good opportunity for you to score some more points. Indeed, I do wonder, could you be leading the championship after the first round?
With Leon, I don't know. He's pretty fast, but we'll try. I'll try my best.
Well, Kevin, as always, it's an absolute pleasure to be speaking to you. And indeed, we may have roasted you a little bit there for the absolute manliness of racing without a shirt on. But indeed, you are working hard. And it's fair to say, ladies and gentlemen, it's paying off. Larry the Cable Guy will tear off his sleeves, while Kevin Adrian tears off his shirt, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, that's how you get a podium here today at Charlotte. Kevin, we're going to leave you to it. But again, huge congratulations. And hopefully we'll be catching up with you again after you make it onto the podium.
Sounds good. See you guys later.
Lovely stuff from Kevin Adrian. And while we have a moment, we're going to take a breather here on Pit Road Productions and have a word from the Academy themselves.
Now he's here teaching all his secrets to all these drivers. This is Almeida Racing Academy,
where every champion has a starting line.
The sim racer turned real world superstar, Suarez Almeida.
It's Connor Bell racing in his own backyard for the very first time in the NASCAR Canada Series.
The workshops helped out so much. Something about battling with somebody faster than you, it just pushes you that little bit further, and I was able to just keep developing my skill.
I can kind of commit more with the exit there. That was good. If you do take sim racing seriously, it does impact your racing technique for the rest of your life.
I know how the car is going to perform around these corners because the model I have in the sim. Just the benefit of sim racing when you go into real life, I don't think people quite realize it yet.
You have infinite track time is the biggest factor. You are able to try so many things, and the physics that are simulated in the sim nowadays, especially iRacing, are so close to real life.
Creating champions.
Suarez Almeida is a master at his craft. He's outclassed a Le Mans driver, a European Le Mans Series racer.
These guys are among the top 0.02% in the world.
Designed to create champions.
First NASCAR Canada start. First NASCAR victory for Connor Bell.
Connor Bell standing on the podium here today.
This is the Almeida Racing Academy 3.0.
Wait a race, buddy, wait a race.
for the final race at Charlotte.
Oh, that we are, and it is going to be Otavio Suarez starting on pole position with Leon Bentvelzen in second. Kevin Adrian and Christian Komets, your second row, with Thomas Niemanen and Tyler Harker fifth and sixth. In seventh, Adam Mika with Rupesh Paneni alongside. Connor Bell's going to start ninth, and Bas van der Lee is rounding out the top 10. Looks like we're going to have a short grid time here, Zippy, so we might not be able to get through everyone.
Rich Mises is going in 11th with Philip Falcon in 12th. In 13th, it's going to be Carl Diaz-Cancho with Jacob Sipley in 14th. Jeremy Childers in 15th and Brian Sabowski in 16th. Andrew Engel takes 17th with Sukovac Sayo in 18th. Jeff Weston in 19th, and indeed, Anthony Lanassa is going to be your top 20. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to leave the grid here as the lights are getting ready to go. And green flag!
And we are away. It's a nice start once again from Otavio Suarez, who's going to lead from pole position, but Leon Bentvelzen will try and break the run of results that Suarez has managed here in round one. Kevin Adrian still holding on to third, but Christian Komets is really harassing the back of him, and it's all on behind. Looks like Jakub Cieply has gotten a black flag, apparently jumping the start there for the Polish driver. We'll have to wait and see how that works out for him, but he will be under a lot of pressure now from Jeremy Childers as he tries desperately to hold on to every position he can. He will have to tour through pit lane for that one.
Indeed, he will. Looks like something happened at the start as well. Dennis Delpierre potentially caught in an incident as well. Let's take a quick look at the replay.
Yeah, Delpierre, very embattled driver in this first round. Let's see what happened here. He looks like the rear end just let go on him there. Obviously, when the MX-5's tires are cold, it's an absolute death trap, so you do need to be very careful there on your way around the first lap before the tires really get up to temperature. Ivo Serafimov, meanwhile, has towed to pit lane as our leaders make their way through the chicane for the first time in the third race. I'm not too sure what happened to the number 20, but Serafimov has already had a pretty tough night, and it seems it's only gotten tougher.
Yeah, it looks like there's an incident involving several of these drivers there. Serafimov being one of them. We've got Elliot Brochard, Anthony Lanassa, and whoa!
Went into the back of Lanassa there. Tried to defend the position, apparently, did Serafimov, but got on the grass. And the Mazda MX-5 does have an anti-lock braking system, so apparently that just increased his braking distance there. I understand the... I understand the need to want to try to keep your position on the first lap, but close quarters like that, a move like that was not going to work.
Yeah, I have a feeling that one might get a little bit of attention there from the stewards, but right now, Otavio Suarez is indeed absolutely trying to run away with it. He's about half a second clear here of Leon Bentvelzen. We know that he's potent indeed. I'm trying to think, did he win a championship before? By all means, correct me on my memory here. We need to get a statistic, actually. Try and get all of these statistics. Kyle, sorry, buddy, we've just found an extra job for you to do. Not that you needed it. You're a very busy man. But right now, Kevin Adrian there, the third place driver indeed, who we chatted up to. Well, we didn't chat him up. Well, we kind of chatted him up. We chatted to just a few minutes ago there. He's trying to run away from the Estonian driver that is Christian Komets.
Yes, indeed. Kevin Adrian wanted good results from this one, and his qualifying didn't go all too well. So it's really good to see him up here, and he's enjoying a nice gap, as is Christian Komets on this battle. As Connor Bell, my goodness, he is absolutely monstering the curbs at the chicane there. And right behind Rupesh Paneni, both Bell and Paneni are up 2 spots. They made their way past Bas van der Lee and Tyler Harker. The top 5 remain where they started, but there's at least 1 position gained or lost for everybody behind.
And this is going to be one of those series where I think Connor Bell's real-life SPC experience could be of absolute benefit there. As you can see, one of the students there, Tyler Harker, right behind, trying to get in on the action as well, as Connor Bell makes his way up into 6th place as well. Now, the question is, can he catch Niemanen? I'm going to say probably that's probably going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Not knocking Niemanen, but indeed Connor Bell is an academy coach for a reason and a real NASCAR Canada driver as well. First round out, he did indeed go and win the thing, despite having a penalty as well. Absolutely incredible driving, but right now he's there in P6. Overall, I think the lead is still within reach there, but I do have to wonder, in 20 minutes, is he going to be able to find his way to the front of the pack?
Yeah, it is a slightly longer race than the first 2, so there is more time to make your moves, but it also means that if you get an early advantage, you will be able to maintain it a bit more easily, I think. John Estep, meanwhile, making a move almost there on Ilesvike. and Illes up 8 positions, Estep up 10 as we had those big problems for Jeffrey Westland, Sammy Hendricks, Anthony Lanassa, Denis Delpierre and Jakob Chepley on the first lap. But let's see what Brent Rusnell can do to try and hold on to his positions as Jakob Chepley here back down in 28th spot, making the move on Delpierre.
Indeed, it's good to see, despite the incident, these guys are still able to run, as that looks like some very interesting damage on the front of that Miata there. The 18 of Elliot Brocard.
Yeah, looks like the bonnet has detached somewhat from the car. That's not going to do any favors for his driving view, but worth remembering that sometimes car damage shows up differently on our end than it does for the driver themselves. Regardless, yeah, Elliot Brocard, I really do feel for the guy, because remember, he qualified on pole position for the first race. 1 lap pace around here, certainly in the hands of the Frenchman, but his races have not gone the way that he would have envisaged. Meanwhile, slowdown having to be served for Rupesh Panetti. He's going to fall down to 9th spot, evidently a bit too much taken out of potentially the final chicane.
Well, it looks like here Thomas Niemanen, he's just been passed by Colin Bell, but it looks like Tyler Harker's trying to line him up here as well. Now, we know Harker's potent, and we certainly remember him from the Spec Racer Fords. Indeed, he was somebody to keep an eye on, almost taken away with that Club Class Championship win as well. But Bas van der Lee, he's there, he's in the mix. He started incredibly potent, but certainly the pace appears to have dissipated a little bit as the day's gone on.
Yes, it seems that, oh dear, that's a problem for Andrew Engel, and it looks like a spin through the hairpin coming onto the oval. Was this a solo error, or did he have help, is the question. Lots of space around him, a little bit wide on entry, and then on the throttle application, the rear end just let go. So apparently you can light up the rears in these MX-5s.
Yeah, you definitely can. Here's Kevin Lau now, looking to try and hold off the likes of Julian Rees, who is, without a doubt, in the wrong split. But don't get me wrong, I mean, he's doing some good racing, ladies and gentlemen. But despite that, he will get black flagged from the race entirely. None of the points will count. Indeed, he's going to find himself in a little bit of trouble there with the Almeida Racing Academy administration team.
Yes, well, you know, round 1 gremlins, I think, can be blamed for a bit of that. We've certainly had our round 1 gremlins as Brent Rusnell has to serve a slowdown there, cutting the curbs in the final chicane. In the real world, there are tyre barriers at the final chicane as well as at the hairpin, but I think the drivers are thankful that they aren't there in the sim model of the track yet anyway. iRacing is usually pretty good about keeping their NASCAR tracks updated to real-world specs, especially recently. But Tyler Harker, for the moment, still holding on to 6th. He's got some problems there on the exit, though. The transition onto the banking of the oval unsettling him.
Yeah, you can see things starting to tighten up, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly Tyler Harker was certainly starting to sweat at that particular moment. And Thomas Niemanen, he's not trying to make the pass at this point. He's trying to push Harker forward and try and stay with the likes of Conor Bell.
This is going to be a tight fight indeed. Oh man, yeah, Connor has got supreme confidence over those curbs as it looks like Niemanen's going to lose the spot to Harker in the background there. And to Paneni as well. A poor exit from the hairpin there for Tyler. Might Bas van der Lee get him as well? Will he pull out on the way into the final corner? He will not. Van der Lee is evidently playing the long game here.
Yeah, Van der Lee's always had good strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, he will sit back and wait until the opportune moment. He knows he's in this pack. He knows he can make a late charge, but certainly look at watching these two guys ahead. I think he's just sized up some experience here in the ARA, and indeed, you see contact there. He's sized it up, and he's got to weigh up the risk versus reward. Is it worth it trying to get in the middle of these two? I'm going to say probably not. Maybe they'll take each other out, but certainly these two guys are racing very aggressively ahead.
They certainly are, and you really need to take advantage of what happens in front of you in this car. It's a darty machine, the MX-5, and as an MX-5 driver in real life, I can tell you, it really monsters the corners. It handles beautifully, and well, keeping that momentum up is a big part of racing in this car. It doesn't have the biggest straight line speed, so you make up a lot of your time in the corners. And keeping your exits nice is a big part of racing as well. Diaz Castro, my apologies, is going to be side by side through here with Philip Falcon, who's having a good race at the moment, 11th spot. We usually saw him racing around sort of top 15 area in the Spec Racer Ford and didn't always have the best of luck in the races, but looks like Philip Falcon is another driver who the MX-5 seems to suit a bit better.
Yeah, it looked like Rich Meese's head got a little bit looser coming out of the bus stop. You can see a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of smoke there. That's worked out pretty good for Philip Falcon. He's going to find Meese's now pretty much on the chopping block. All he's got to do is try and stay there, stay close, and see if he can get his way ahead to make their way down into the chicane.
Now Rich using the curb nicely there, keeping it out of the wall on the exit. Another slowdown for Rupesh Panini, and Tuka Valkeasuo now has one as well. But we'll keep our eyes on Rich Meesters for now as he tries to keep Falcon, Diaz Castro, and Childers behind. This is going to be a tough one for sure for Rich, but a top 10 finish in the first round of the season will be a great way to start things off for him. Meanwhile, Christian Kermetz has Connor Bell for company, getting up the inside in the infield of the circuit. Connor Bell is working that wheel hard, and it looks like he might be trying to round a move up here on Kevin Adrian for third. Can the coach get it done is the question. Looks like Adrian got a slightly better exit out of the hairpin at that point, but that's only a short-term gain because the slipstream kicks in right about here.
Indeed, and certainly the likes of Octavio Suarez and Leon Bentvelzen, they're about 5 seconds up the road. They're going to have to work together if they want to get this done. As right down the inside goes Connor Bell. Indeed, absolutely sends it, able to find all sorts of grip and makes his way up into P3.
Did you see the line through the chicane as well? Kevin Adrian was fighting the front end through the second apex, but Connor Bell was almost sliding the car through that right-hander. That's a big part of racing in this MX-5. I've seen Brandon Hawken race MX-5s as well, a driver not taking part in this, as Jan Janchik has another problem there. Looks to me like the chicane is not Jan's friend tonight. It's the curb. That's all right. Doesn't hit the other curb, and it looks like the exit barrier got him in the end. But we're familiar with Brandon Hawken from other series that we broadcast here on PRP, and I've seen him in an MX-5. He is a master at rotating the rear end into the corners, and you see him sliding these cars almost everywhere. It looks like Connor Bell is doing the same thing, and that's something that the drivers here can certainly learn from, making sure that you manage how much the rear end is sliding, work the rotation that's naturally built into this car. That's what's going to give you pace.
Indeed. Speaking of other series, I can see Adam Kovac making an appearance here in the Pit Road Production chat. Good to see you making the join here as well. Well, certainly, Adam, if you want to be involved in this league, you've got to be a member of the Almeida Racing Academy. Certainly, qualification has closed for this season, but certainly you can still get yourself tuned up, get a little bit faster, and see if you can beat Ken Housel in the WDCR league as well. We'll call it out. We're racers. We've got a pass for the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Leon Bentvelzen finding way at the front of the pack.
Hello. Leon, my goodness. Welcome back, buddy. It's been a while since we've seen him on a Pit Road Productions stream, but move into turn one, he managed to get it done. And Octavio Suarez, apparently a very wise head on those shoulders, he is going to play the long game here because, I mean, look at the gap that they have to everyone else. Connor Bell is catching them, yes, but I think it's worth pointing out that they have a gap to work with, and Octavio Suarez can bide his time here if he wants to get back in the lead.
Well, indeed, that last lap, though, Connor Bell was able to catch up 7/10 of a second, ladies and gentlemen. So if these guys keep duking it out, they may find themselves under attack sooner rather than later. Let me see here, 7/10 a lap. They're about 4.5 seconds clear. Hold on a second now.
That would be 2.4 seconds gained, I believe. So not quite enough for the moment. I think Bell's going to have to look for more to happen ahead.
Okay, fair enough. Good bit of Reese math because Zippy math isn't the best. Kevin Adrian, though, having to serve that slowdown, and that's cost him pretty dramatically there. He's fallen back to P7.
Yes, Kevin Adrian managing a podium in race 2, and it looks like that may or may not be the high point of his night there as he ran deep into the hairpin as well. It would appear that Bas van der Lee had to do the same thing. Not an ideal way to get onto the oval. Meanwhile, our leaders into the chicane, bouncing across those curbs, and it's amazing seeing the suspension flex. Such soft suspension in these MX-5s. They love that mechanical grip. They can really get it through those slower corners, but it also means that you can bounce them right over the curbs at a lot of different tracks.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's how Connor Bell is getting such an astonishing lap time. His current best is 1:34.33, but he's the only driver we're really watching where he jumps the car, and as it goes and catches, it just goes and, he's predicting where it's going to grip back up, and, I think that's why he's getting the most run through that corner.
Yeah, that chicane is certainly a key point of this lap, and Connor Bell has nailed it every single time. These two up the front may be a bit too involved with each other to really maximize their way through it, but for the moment, through the infield, a nice run for Otavio Suarez. He will stay behind Bentvelzen into the fast right-hander of turn 6, and then the turn 7 hairpin. Actually, let me recount those turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I was right. Correct count. Turn 7 is the hairpin. Otavio Suarez getting a good run out of it, and we'll get the slipstream on Bentvelzen once again coming into the chicane, but will he go for the move?
Well, honestly, I'm hoping he does, because if he does, it means that Connor Bell may get a chance to catch up. You can see there, the gap down to about 4.2, 4.3 seconds. Indeed, Octavio goes and puts himself at the front of the pack, but is Bentvelzen going to fight back? He's just a 10-5. It looked like a little bit of contact there between first and second.
Yeah, Suarez running deep through the chicane and had to keep steering to get out of the safer barrier on the exit, and Bentvelzen took advantage of that. He's going to take advantage again coming into the final corners here, and well, Otavio Suarez is going to let him have that one in the short term, but he's still close enough to get slipstream down the oval. My timing is telling me 3 laps to go, and at about a minute 34, minute 35 per lap, that lap count seems accurate. Meanwhile, battles back outside the top 10. Rich Meester's holding on to 11th. He's chased by Jeremy Childers and Christian Kermetz. Brian Jabelski not too far behind these guys either. Looks like something happened between them there. That was quite the off, and Kermetz going straight through there. I'm not entirely sure what happened.
Yeah, that's trying to make sense of why Christian Kermetz has indeed fallen down through the order so much. Currently down 9 positions. Indeed, Kevin Adrian down 8 as well. You can see there a huge pack of cars ahead of him. But currently the hard charger in this field is this gentleman. It's Elias Badger.
Yeah, Vike has managed to now make up another position here. Yes, as he finds his way past Tuka Valkiasuo. A lot of space given on the way in as Kyle Diaz-Castro and Philip Falcon are continuing their fight for the last positions in the top 10. No slipstream for either of them. Philip Falcon will be hoping for a little bit of side draft as they make their way around the oval. And man, this circuit is such a good track to watch races at, because you've got cars going through multiple spots in the frame from those blimp views, haven't you? Side by side into the chicane, and Philip Falcon is going to have to yield.
Indeed, nice pass there as further back. He's still looking to try and make it up another position. Kevin Lau is, he's pretty much close, ladies and gentlemen. He's about 6 seconds ahead. But right now, Tuka Valkiasuo is not taking it laying down. Indeed, he's trying to find his way back up to P16.
Yes, Tuka now up 1 from his starting spot. He's going to have to work a bit harder now to get that slipstream back. It's rather difficult to accomplish as, Andrew Engel getting in the wall out of turn 1, and it looks like that destroyed the front right suspension, and he had to tow in the end, unfortunately. He's joined in the pits by Elliot Brocard and Denis Delpierre, and Delpierre was sent back to the pits due to connection issues, so unfortunately his Belgian internet not quite up to scratch at the moment. Hopefully it's a bit better for him next round, as up the inside goes Otavio Suarez at the turn 7 hairpin. The cutback underneath from Leon Bentvelzen. The lead battle is on, but Connor Bell is only 3 seconds behind.
Indeed, the more these guys battle, the better it's going to be for Connor Bell. Indeed, the coach is looking to try and find himself onto the podium. Don't get me wrong, he can't store points, ladies and gentlemen. It's just more for the novelty, indeed, having a coach here in the session. But right now, I've got to say, actually, I missed the part where they used to get bonus points for defending from a coach. Certainly, Mike Sargent was the man of the hour for that. Indeed, the man of the season for that. As right now, you see here, Otavio Suarez definitely doing the same approach as Connor Bell, really hopping that car over the curbs in the bus stop.
Yes, it looks like he's trying to gear up for a move into the final chicane here to start the final lap, but I don't know if I'd do it if I was in his position. I would probably just sit behind and wait for the slipstream down the straight, but they're going to do it. Contact between the leaders, and across the line, Otavio Suarez will lead, but Bentvelzen is still right there, and Connor Bell has made up a mammoth, something like 2 seconds in just half a lap.
Yeah, the look on that man's face right now, he can see it's almost like he's playing with his food before he eats it. You know, he can see the opportunity here, and with the slipstream especially, this could be a little bit of buy one get one free action. Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking these guys, but they put themselves in a scenario now where Connor Bell, he has this opportunity to potentially go and challenge for the lead spot on the podium.
Well, he's going to have a front row seat to this titanic battle between Otavio Suarez and Leon Bentvelzen. Suarez is going to lead into the hairpin. On the way out, they both run very wide and almost glance off the wall there. I think Bentvelzen might have glanced off the wall himself. I see potentially some slight detachment from his front bumper. But let's see what they can do now as Bell is right behind them. There he is. There's Connor. Let's see what happens coming into the backstretch chicane here. The momentum for Leon Bentvelzen. Can't quite get close enough in the braking zone. Otavio Suarez leads the way out. Connor Bell just managing to keep it out of the safer barrier. Three-way fight for the lead. It looks like Bentvelzen might have lost touch with Suarez, but we'll have to wait and see for the final chicane if there's a problem for Otavio Suarez. If he gets a slowdown through the final corner and keeps it across the line, then he might get penalized. Needs to nail it as Bell makes the move on Bentvelzen for second, and Otavio Suarez takes 3 from 3. Absolute dominance here in the first round of the Almeida Racing League Season 7.
I gotta say, as much as we love Leon Bentvelzen there, he must feel a little bit cheated in that final corner. Indeed, Connor Bell said, thank you very much. It's across the line. Rupesh from the knee, and indeed, Bassman the lead, just 8 tenths of a second in there. Let's have a look a little bit further back, though, as we've got side-by-side of final. Oh, that's contact there with Sammy Hendricks, and indeed, let's talk about Cassell getting. Oh, my word.
Oh, no, it's continuing. Yan Cheek. You know what? In Australia, we call that doing a Bradbury. That's what Yan Cheek just did. Everyone in front of him messed up before the line, and he took something like 3 free positions from that. Good stuff, Yan.
Well, let's take a look here on board from the Wild Django racing car, the 145. You can see all chaos unfolding ahead of him, and he absolutely threads the needle, says, thank you very much. And on that one, I gotta admit, I'd be like, suckers.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that would be how Stephen Bradbury felt. For context, if anyone doesn't know, Stephen Bradbury is an Olympic skater, and in the Winter Olympics one year he was running far behind everyone else, but all the other skaters crashed ahead of him and he came through to take the gold. So from then on, whenever we see a situation like what just happened with Yan Cheek, we call that doing a Bradbury.
Well, a little bit of famous expertise from our very own Mr. Reese Gardner. So yet again, ladies and gentlemen, 3 out of 3. That's not something we see happen very often indeed. Actually, it may have only happened once or twice. Another statistic we need, Kyle. I'm so sorry, buddy. Otavio Suarez takes the win with Connor Bell in second. Leon Bentvelzen takes the win in club class, albeit third place overall. Still nothing to stick out. Some good points being scored there. Rupesh Finelli takes fourth with Bas Pandali in fifth. Thomas Demoulin, he's up there. He's there in sixth with Kevin Adrian in 7th, Tyler Harper in 8th, Carl Diaz Castro, good to see him out on the track, indeed, goes and takes 9th, with Philip Falcon in 10th.
In 11th place was Rich Meesters, with Kevin Lau finishing behind him. Lau making it up from 24th, an impressive recovery. With Jeremy Childers up to 13th, Brian Jabelski and Yan Cheek rounding out the top 15. And at least 3 of those positions Yan Cheek gained on the run out of the final corner at the checkered flag. Sammy Hendricks, Iles Vaik and Tuka Valkiasuo 16th, 17th and 18th, and the top 20 rounded out by Brent Rusnell and Jeffrey Westland.
Having a look there at P21 as John Esther with the very much snuck in there. Julian Reese takes 22nd, albeit he won't get anything, ladies and gentlemen. Wrong split, buddy, wrong split. Jacob Seapley, he takes 23rd with Ampli Lanassa in 24th. Christian Komitz having a little bit of an unfortunate incident near the end. He took 23rd for Andrew Engel. Definitely looking to improve next week. He's there in 26th. Andrew, I believe you can do it, buddy. Just certainly the Miata cold tyres it gets the better of many of us, including myself. Brian Lenz takes 27 with Elliot Brocard. Definitely a rough day for him despite such incredible pace. He takes 28 with Dennis Delpierre in 29, and Ivo Serafimov rounding out your 30 top 30.
Indeed, they have a fantastic race with, unfortunately, Adam Mika not taking to the start in race 3. But it looks like we are joined just in time by the man of the hour. Let's bring Otavio Suarez in for a chat. Otavio, my goodness, your pace here was almost undeniable, taking 3 wins from 3 here in the first round. I don't think you could have asked for a more perfect start other than taking pole position.
Oh man, it was unbelievable. It's the first time I'm able to attend the league because I'm in the West Coast and sometimes the time doesn't work out very well for me. But it was a thrill. A very good race. Leon almost had me at the end. It was a nice battle. A lot of nice battles all across the grid. Really fun. Really happy to be participating in this season.
And we're happy to have you here. I certainly recognize that CFPM livery from other leagues, and I know what reputation your team has. So it's good to see you out here. It was really tough on that final lap in the third and final race with Connor Bell bearing down on you and Leon. Were you just monitoring him there in your mirrors?
Oh yeah, when I saw that Connor was third, I didn't want to attack Leon because the moment we start to fight, he would catch us very quickly, as he did. Fortunately, I decided to go for it the penultimate lap instead of the last. So that gave me a little buffer and let them fight, right? So that's what ended up happening. So that worked out well for me, but it was scary to see him catching behind me.
Well, catch Leon, he did. Catch you, he did not. And so pretty much a perfect score from the races here to start off the season, and it'll give you a nice buffer coming into round 2.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta say, I love this track, so I don't know if I'm gonna perform as well the next one. I hope so. A lot of practice next week. But yeah, looking forward to it.
As are we. Thank you very much for joining us, Otavio, and congratulations on taking all 3 race wins today.
Thank you.
Otavio Suarez, huge performance here in the first round of the Almeida Racing League C7. Zippy, you've caught up with Connor Bell.
Indeed I have. As Connor, you've turned off your camera for the interview. Good start, buddy. Good start.
Oh, have I?
Yeah, you did. We were there. We're happy we have an academy coach on, and indeed he's now. Oh, bless you. He's now a little bit camera shy, but certainly Connor definitely had your work cut out for you. What did you think was going to be the outcome here with the academy taking over to the Miatas here, especially at Charlotte? Definitely not the familiar layout. What was you predicting here as a coach?
Well, I'm not sure what I was predicting, honestly. I wasn't totally sure entering the event. It's the first time in a long time that I've personally driven the Miata, and I'm sure it's similar for other people, at least racing wheel to wheel. So yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect, but it turned out to be some really great racing from what I saw. Hopefully my camera's back up for you, by the way.
It is. Yeah, you're good. Look at the camera, buddy. Look at the camera. Hey, there we go.
But no, I think the racing was great. Typically, I think round 1 is always a little bit more chaotic compared to, later on in the season. But if that was the standard of racing for, round 1, I'm really excited to see where we get to in terms of racecraft for the rest of the season. So should be good.
Yeah, honestly, the racing was nothing short of incredible. And the incidents, actually, I expected there to be a lot more. Certainly, we've seen some Academy races where indeed it's been a little bit of an onslaught for the guys doing the race control after the race, but certainly Connor, indeed, a good battle as well, and I think a couple of drivers might have learned something from this. Indeed, Otavio was saying just how much, himself and Leon had that battle, and without that, you wouldn't have been really given the opportunity. Don't get me wrong, you had pace, but I especially want to talk to you about the line you were taking there through the bus stop. Certainly yourself, I think we need to get a pogo stick put on the side of your car, because you certainly seem to be taking more curve than anybody else. Tell us a little bit about that from a professional and a coaching point of view.
Yeah, I think the Miata has been pretty good in terms of being able to take curbs. So Yeah, I had minimal practice coming into today. My only practice was probably 20 laps, 25 laps in the pit party yesterday, but I found that it does take the curbs pretty well, and you're going to be able to cut down on not only track distance, but also the radius of the corner. So, yeah, took a lot of curb into the bus stop, took some curb in some other places, and it seemed to work out.
Well, certainly, Connor, you were just mentioning the pit party a moment ago. For those who aren't familiar, would you like to give a quick overview about what that is and why, indeed, they need to be part of the Academy if they want to take part?
Yeah, so pit parties are really fun events to practice racecraft. So essentially what we do is we'll grab 30, 40 guys and girls, and we'll jump into a hosted session, and all we're going to do is just run through some mock races. And at the end of those sort of 10-lap runs, we do a big review. We look at all the incidents, and we'll talk about what we can improve on for the next races and the league race on Saturday. So it's a really good way to be in a controlled environment without I rating and safety rating at stake when we're practicing racecraft. And if you want to be a part of it, you can head to AlmeidaRacingAcademy.com and sign up for a membership.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I had the pleasure of being there at that pit party. Yes, indeed, it was absolutely fantastic. Certainly myself, it's more of an interactive learning experience, which for some people, okay, that works for you, and for some, they want to take in the information at their own pace. But that there, you not only are you getting to have the likes of Connor Bell overseeing, the session and seeing what's going on there, but you got drivers from all 4 different splits there racing, so it gives you a good eclectic mix. And indeed, it also lets you check out to see how quick the competition is as well. So I've got to say, absolutely fantastic stuff. Indeed, Connor, well done for getting 2nd place here in the feature race. But we're going to leave you to it, as we should really have a chat here with our 3rd place finisher, that is Leon Bentvelzen.
Yes, indeed. And might I say, Leon, a very warm welcome back to a Pit Road Productions booth. And what a way to return to our fold. On the podium in all 3 races, you seem to really enjoy this MX-5.
Yeah, thanks guys for having me back. Good to hear you all again. Yeah, MX-5 is a sweetheart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you handle her carefully, she does everything you want.
Yeah, well, you say that just as our production feed has you airborne across the curbs in the final corner. But the MX-5 really likes the curbs, doesn't it?
Yeah, it eats it pretty well, actually. If you have good throttle application, it can take a lot.
Yeah, throttle application was a big part of the racing today, and especially in your battle with Otavio Suarez in the final race there. Throttle application, a huge part of the process, but also keeping up that mid-corner speed and knowing where to make the pass as well. I suppose it helped that the slipstream was very powerful down the back straight too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think he would have cleared me otherwise. Thank God he made some mistakes as well, so I can keep it in draft. Otherwise, you probably would be a goner.
Well, a goner you were not, and with a 3rd, a 2nd, and a 3rd from the races tonight, you have a solid championship standing, and I believe actually lead the club class coming out of this round. So I don't think you could have asked for a better start other than taking the win.
Yeah, it's a real big good start. I didn't expect it actually, because I was gone for 2 seasons, and this is actually my first race after the last one, season in 4, I guess it was. So I'm pretty happy with all the results.
Indeed, as you should be. I mean, yeah, that was actually before we did the 2 seasons in the Spec Racer Ford. So you certainly missed out on the exciting racing in that. But I mean, I think you made up for it with the amount of excitement you saw at the front in all 3 races tonight. Were there any other big battles that jumped out to you?
Oh mate, I was so, how do you say, concentrated on my own, that I had no idea what happened around me. Not at all.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't blame you. You got to have a laser focus to be racing against the kind of competition that was at the front today. But do you foresee any other tracks this season jumping out to you as places you'll be strong at? Have you had a chance to look at the schedule yet?
Not yet. Not good. Let me say it like that. But yeah, just bring it on.
Bring it on indeed. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Leon. We really appreciate you coming in for a chat, and hopefully we see this great run of results continue.
I hope so. Thanks for having me, guys. Cheers.
Brilliant stuff from Leon Bentvelzen also today. And I tell you what, Zippy, for an opening round of a championship, I don't think we could have asked for better. Like, we as broadcasters, we love having a lot to chew on throughout the race. The drivers gave us a 3-course meal at a 5-star restaurant there.
Yeah, despite the fact I've not had breakfast, honestly, it's one of the things we don't really talk about here is that, you know, the adrenaline we get as commentators, indeed as producers, like making these shows, is nothing short of incredible. Indeed, this is the downside of doing some of the shows during the week, because you do a show like this, I'm not going to sleep for a couple of hours. Indeed, it's nothing short of incredible. But certainly, it's good to see some new names here as well. And one of the big things I love about the Almeida Academy is they don't just have one split; they've got 4 of them. Like, you know, 4 splits of drivers duking it out. And indeed, the good thing is it means we get to see some new names. Certainly, Octavio, first time here, just absolutely goes and cleans up. I have a few feeling there's a few drivers in this split who are going to have something to say about that in terms of trying to get some points back. But indeed, Ian Joyner as well, I can tell you he's in the top split, just not here this week. Cairo ends as well. I have a feeling some of these guys are going to be going, okay, who is this guy? Why is he quick? And indeed, we have a new target to aim for.
Yeah, I agree. You know, the Spec Racer Ford certainly had its specialists. Ian Joyner was one from the very start of the league's time using it. And Cairo Enns just kept getting better and better with every single race he did in the Spec Racer Ford. With the change to the MX-5, I know that Ian Joyner was certainly looking forward to racing the MX-5 from our chats with him at the end of last season. And I think Cairo had roughly the same vibes as well. So I'm very interested to see how they do when they come back.
Indeed, and we might be able to get one more interview in here as well. Just give me 1 second here, Reese.
Yes?
I could have sworn I just seen him a minute ago. Here we go.
I did see him. There he is.
Hey, Kyle.
That was certainly an entrance.
Yeah, that's the first.
Kyle Diaz Castro joins us.
What's up?
Well, certainly, Kyle, yourself, you are the Chief Operating Officer here at the Almeida Academy. Certainly, you're the guy who does all the magic behind the website as well. Why don't you tell us about some of the updates that you guys have done recently, and indeed some of the stuff that we potentially got to look forward to?
There's so much to describe. I don't know what to mention. We pretty much have all the courses available, pretty easy to access, schedules out there. Garage 61, like all of our students, they have access to Garage 61 Pro, which sets up them to be able to track their challenges automatically without having to, like back when we first started, everyone had to use like a little check mark paper pen PDF thing where they used to have to, as they complete their bronze time, silver time, they used to have to physically write their check marks and then save their replays. It's all automatically tracked now. And this, I don't know, like, what else do you want to know about?
Well, certainly, I know it's definitely been a bit more than a labor of love, and certainly myself, I'm enjoying seeing just how much easier you've been making it to use the stuff on the Academy as well. But we've also got maybe you can tell us a little bit about that as well. We've got this specific course coming out for the Miatas. I believe weeks 1 and week 2 are currently up. By all means, correct me if I'm wrong. But certainly it's going to really help these drivers to be even quicker here in the league.
Yeah, actually already released it last week. I think it was on Wednesday. It's the MX-5 Mastery Mini Course. This is supposed to pretty much go over the nuances of what the Miatas feel like and everything, and go into a little bit more extreme detail of the MX-5s and how to extract like every individual second or millisecond that you can, because MX-5s, they're kind of unique in their behavior, and we pretty much cover all of that over a course of 4 lessons and I think total 40 minutes.
Well, certainly, indeed, the Miata, despite being a car that's offered straight from the start, it definitely is a challenging vehicle. For similar to Split Racer Ford, it's approachable for those starting out. Indeed, it rewards those who've got a little bit more track time as well. But Kyle, good to be able to catch up with you. Good to see you here racing in the league as well. Not only that, managed to make it into the club class, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Are we going to be seeing potentially a ARA staff member potentially challenging here for the championship? Well, we are going to have to wait and see. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Diaz-Castro, courtesy of the Almeida Racing Academy. But Reese, I think it's just about that magical time here. We're going to have to bring the show to a close.
Indeed we are. A huge thanks to everyone who showed up in the chat, both on Pit Road Productions and on Suelio Almeida's channel. We are dual casting this league, as we have for all of the time that we've been broadcasting it, and we appreciate you coming, whichever platform you came from. Fantastic racing here at the first round, and knowing the reputation of the MX-5, I'm sure it's going to continue. We're going to be here for the whole season. Big thanks, everybody. My name is Reese Gardner. Daniel Zippy Salmon is alongside me in the commentary box and handling production behind the scenes here on Pit Road Productions. We'll see you next week for the second round of the Almeida Racing League Season 7.
Now he's here teaching all his secrets to all these drivers. This is Almeida Racing Academy,
where every champion has a starting line.
The sim racer turned real world superstar, Suarez Almeida.
It's Connor Bell racing in his own backyard for the very first time in the NASCAR Canada Series.
The workshops helped out so much. Something about battling with somebody faster than you, it just pushes you that little bit further, and I was able to just keep developing my skill.
I can kind of commit more with the exit there. That was good. If you do take sim racing seriously, it does impact your racing technique for the rest of your life.
I know how the car is going to perform around these corners because the model I have in the sim. Just the benefit of sim racing when you go into real life, I don't think people quite realize it yet.
You have infinite track time is the biggest factor. You are able to try so many things, and the physics that are simulated in the sim nowadays, especially iRacing, are so close to real life.
Creating champions.
Suarez Almeida is a master at his craft. He's outclassed a Le Mans driver, a European Le Mans Series racer.
These guys are among the top 0.02% in the world.
Designed to create champions.
First NASCAR Canada start. First NASCAR victory for Connor Bell.
Connor Bell standing on the podium here today.
This is the Almeida Racing Academy 3.0.
Wait a race, buddy. Wait a race.